The latest tech.
I'm Alexa. I can answer your questions.
Interviews.
And we are evolving, and we are seeing an amazing opportunity that is happening.
Accessibility.
Accessibility is one of our core values. It's even a part of our mission statement.
This is DoubleTap TV.
Welcome to another edition of Double Tap TV as we wind down towards the end of the calendar year. We're taking the opportunity to do a bunch of episodes about our favorite things from 2021, our favorite laptops, our favorite segments from different shows. And this week we're going to be talking about our favorite accessories of the year, not to be mistaken with our holiday gift guide, because that of course had different accessories in it. But this week we're just talking about accessories for on the go, accessories for on the home, lots of cool things that we're going to be talking about this week. So if you've got something to say, email us, feedback at AMI.CA. Of course, on Twitter, you can also reach out. It is at DoubleTap Canada with the hashtag, which is AskDoubleTap. I am Marc Aflalo with Stephen Scott by my side. Stephen, talking all about accessories. The one thing I should mention is that we are not going to be talking about price tags because there are so many different places you can get these things. I encourage you to shop around. Of course, check Amazon, check your big box retailers, and all that fun stuff when it comes to buying any of these devices, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I've had so much fun with this one, Mark. I honestly don't know if I've picked the right options here, but I've picked some of them because there are so many. There were so many choices I could have picked from. We could have filled an entire season.
Yeah, no joke. And you know what? We have a special guest lined up. Mitchell Whitfield, co-host of YourTechReport on SiriusXM, will be joining us in the second segment to talk about his favorite accessories because, quite honestly, you're tired of us. But can I start, please? I've got something really cool in my hand.
Go on you go.
This is a magnetic phone mount from Belkin. I'm going to put this down on the table here in front of me. It's called the magnetic phone mount with face tracking. And what it is, it's this kind of cylindrical white design that has a cone-style base on the bottom. It sits nice on a flat on a table, and it's got MagSafe on the top of it. So let me reach down and get my phone here. And when you pop your phone on it, it's basically facing you, and you can tilt it, up to 90 degrees, 45 degrees, up and down. But the real magic here, Stephen, is when you actually pair this to the Belkin app, you can actually enable face tracking. So the phone connects to the base via Bluetooth. It's got a motor inside, and you could set the sensitivity, the speed, and it will actually track you while you are recording using the native camera app itself. So if you're someone that, films content, cooking videos, who knows what you do at home, and you want to be able to move around a bit and have something that follows you, this device will actually do that for you.
That sounds amazing. I mean, I must admit the face tracking thing just sells it, right? Because it's like any other charger in that sense. But no, this actually adds extra features. It sounds really cool. What else have you got?
I've got more Belkin stuff. This is the, what do they call this exactly? I have to look down while I put this in front of you on the screen here. This is the Boost Charge Magnetic Portable Wireless Charger 10K for 10,000 milliamps. This is a cool portable charger because when you look at this close up, you can see that it's got MagSafe, so you can connect right to those iPhone 12, iPhone 13s, which is really, really neat. But it's also got a USB Type A and USB Type C port on the bottom, so you can plug a cable and charge other things into it if you want to over there. And it's big and it's hefty, and that's all that it does. You literally attach it to your iPhone 12 or 13, and it starts charging right away. If you do plug the cable in, it'll continuously charge the actual charger itself. So it's an alternative to Apple's own MagSafe battery pack. A little bit heavier, more capacity, but it's a great accessory to throw in a bag, your gear bag, and be on the go with it.
Yeah, well, I'm going to talk about something very similar myself a bit later. You really need these devices. I often thought, I'll never use these, but actually, it's always when you need it, you don't either have it with you or you've forgotten to charge it. So it's good having one that's got some power in it that, if you forget to charge it for a couple of days, it's not the end of the world.
So this next device, which is my last device, I might bring up something later in the show. We'll see if we have time for it. But this is a very cool little dock kind of, I guess you'd call it a dongle, so to speak. It is the size of about 2.5 fingers, so it's about, 3 inches wide. It's about half an inch thick. It's got one USB-C mail port on the side, so you plug this into the side of a MacBook Pro, you plug this into the side of a Surface, you plug this into the bottom of your iPad, and it instantly gives you, number one, a one USB pass-through, so you can continuously charge your device, which is great. You've got a full-size SD slot, you've got a micro SD slot, which is really cool, and you get 2 USB Type A slots. So if you've got accessories from that old device, if you've got that USB microphone, maybe a USB hard drive, or even a USB-C accessory, or you're taking pictures with your DSLR and you want to copy those photos over, this is a must-have accessory. It's tiny. It fits almost into your wallet. It can slip into absolutely anywhere. I lose it because of that fairly often, but it's a great handy device to just pop in and have all these things at your fingertips. It's a 5-in-1 adapter, and this one's by Hyperdrive. I know lots of other companies make similar ones. If you go onto Amazon, you'll find stuff from Anker, you'll find stuff from Hyperdrive, and everybody makes a device like this. I know you have one coming up. It's very similar, a little bit bigger, I think, though.
It is, and I think what I'm looking here is more portability with mine, but also that option to work at home as well with it. So you really have that dual purpose. So yeah, lots to get into there. Good choices.
Well, thank you, and I'm sure that your choices will be equally as good. But before we get to yours, we have to welcome our guest. Mitchell Whitfield is on deck. He is standing by to join us on this week's episode of Double Tap TV. So don't go anywhere. We're going to get to Mitchell's picks after a quick break right here on Double Tap TV.
For more great Double Tap TV content, visit AMI.CA/DoubleTap. This is Double Tap TV.
We are back on Double Tap TV. Thank you guys for being with us each and every single week. As we wind down the calendar year, it gives us the opportunity to look back at the year that was. I am Marc Aflalo with Stephen Scott, and as promised, Mitchell Whitfield joined us live from Los Angeles, California. Mitchell, how are you feeling?
Well, first of all, I always appreciate a good dramatic introduction. So I'm doing great. You guys. By the way, soak it in right now. I'm actually wearing a long sleeve shirt, which I never do, but I did it just for you gentlemen because you deserve the very best.
Oh, I feel bad now wearing a short sleeved shirt. I feel really bad now. I feel like I could dressed up rather than down.
Well, considering our locations,
I feel bad now wearing pants. Yeah, but hey,
you know what? In a land of the pandemic and Zoom and all that stuff, I think it's sort of appropriate. The waist down is sort of BYOB. So there you go.
Well, this week, guys, we are talking all about the best accessories. Now, you just heard my couple accessories. I've got one more that I'm saving towards the end, so we're going to save that one towards the end. But Mitchell, because you're the guest here, and you co-host your own tech show on SiriusXM called Your Tech Report. Should have mentioned that off the top on the glorious intro. But you've brought some accessories to the table of which that we have not discussed yet. So why don't you start by telling us what is in your grubby paws and why you think they are the best for the year?
Well, instead of my grubby paws, let's talk about my grubby ears, because it's actually where the first item on my list resides, and that is the new Apple, it's so weird to say Apple and Beats together even this many years later, the Apple-made Beats Fit Pro headphones. Like we've talked about on this show in the past, and I think other shows as well, everyone was talking about it, AirPods are wonderful headphones, but they are not for everyone, even the ones with the new silicone tips that are interchangeable, because they would fit in your ear for a while, but they would also, after time or jiggling or any sort of activity, they would kind of fall out.
Now, I, of course, mentioned earlier in the show, we're not going to talk about prices because there's so many different currencies and exchange rates and stuff to worry about. But, of course, you can head over to Beats by Dre to take a look at those Beats Fit Pro. I mean, I want to get them, Mitchell, but as of recording this episode, they're even not available in Canada, not available in the UK, only available to your US blood. So what else you got there?
That's another. I'm going to stay with Apple for my second one, which is kind of strange for me. And this is another one that I never thought I would like, because when it first came out, I thought they were kind of silly and didn't really understand what they did. And that is the Apple MagSafe battery that goes on the back of the new iPhones that have the MagSafe built in, the magnetic connector. And everyone's been talking about this battery, sometimes not for the best of reasons, because people have been complaining that it doesn't give you enough battery life. But for people that don't know, Apple does make a battery that just snaps on magnetically to the back of your, as I said, MagSafe equipped iPhone. And I think people assumed they were just going to fast charge your phone. The second you clipped it on or it magnetically attaches, it was going to charge really fast. That's not how they're really designed to work. What they really do is extend the battery life of your phone, because I believe it drains the battery, the external battery that you clip on first, thereby giving you more life on the the internal battery of your phone. It does do a trickle charge of the interior battery, of the built-in battery, so it does charge your phone, but it's really designed not to charge your phone, but give you extra battery life, and it does it really well in a really slim package. I know, Mark, you've tried other Snap-on batteries that actually have better battery life. The problem with those is that they really add a lot of bulk and heft to an already heavier phone if you're using the iPhone 13 from this year, of course. So I love the fact that it's slim. I love the fact that it just attaches brilliantly. It charges over time, gives you about 40% extra battery life depending on which iPhone you use. And best of all, it just works. It's one of those things, because it's made to work with Apple, it just works. So at first, I wasn't on board with one of these batteries, but now that I've used it for a while, it works really, really well.
Yeah, I've got to say, I love this choice because, there's two things about this that make it super accessible to me. One is that I don't have to worry about the charge of the device, because I know that Apple will tell me if the device needs charged, or at least give me indication of battery level. You cannot get an accessible battery charger that tells you how much charge is left, audibly or otherwise, at least without spending some serious cash. So, this is good. And also, it's got that snap fit, which means it's super easy. You don't have to worry about whether it's placed on properly. This is the joy of MagSafe. People don't talk about it this way, but it's a huge accessibility boon, because you don't have to worry about, especially if you're using a Qi charger, you don't have to worry about placing it, if it's flat, on the right space, the right point. You don't have to worry about that. It just snaps on. So it makes it super accessible, and it gives you more charge on the move. What's not to like?
Yeah, for me, battery pack, the strength, everything about it works brilliantly. Now, Mark, I suppose you want to hear what my third choice is that we're going with this, since things are funnier and better in groups of three?
It's amazing how we do things in order.
Yeah, crazy. Okay, for the third one, I'm going to keep it to my one of my passions, which is gaming. For all you gamers out there, I've been an Xbox. I have PlayStation 5. I have Xbox Series X. So this isn't that I have, preference. I do have a preference, but they're both wonderful devices. I tend to go toward the Xbox ecosystem more than anything because of the online presence, and I just love the controller. Speaking of the controller, they're always releasing new controllers, Mark, for the Xbox devices, for the Xbox consoles. The latest release is to celebrate and commemorate the release of their new game, which is brilliant, by the way, which is Forza Horizon 5. They came out with a controller to sort of commemorate the release of the game, and the new controller for the Xbox series of consoles, which will work with any Xbox, of course, it is absolutely gorgeous. They've made themed controllers before with different colors, different designs. This Xbox controller with the Forza theme has a translucent plastic that they use, so you can see the innards. I'm a big fan of seeing the innards. I know that sounds wrong as I say it out loud. I like seeing the inner workings of devices, and having a translucent case for this controller, you can see everything that's going on. There's a spray paint design on there, different colored triggers that match the opposite different colored sticks on there, and it looks like a beautiful piece of art. They also make a display stand for it that comes with a battery, and you buy that separately. That comes with an internal battery that you put in your controller, so it just charges on the stand. And I think hands down the most beautiful controller they've ever designed. But also in the functionality department, it is the first Xbox Series controller, because I know they've done this on the regular Xbox before. But the newly designed controller, the first time they've done the completely rubberized grip on the back. They brought that back. I don't know why it wasn't here from the beginning. That's something I love. Having that rubberized grip is wonderful. So this controller feels amazing in the hand.
Mitchell Whitfield, co-host of Your Tech Report on SiriusXM. Thank you for joining us this week on Double Tap TV. We're going to take a quick break and come back with Steven's list to wrap up this week's show.
For more great Double Tap TV content, visit AMI.CA/DoubleTap. This is Double Tap TV.
We are back on Double Tap TV. Thank you guys for getting involved at home. Feedback at AMI.CA, our email address. Of course, on Twitter at DoubleTapCanada with the hashtag AskDoubleTap. Always nice to have Mitchell Whitfield on board. I am Marc Aflalo. Stephen Scott by my side. Stephen, it is your turn. You've been waiting with bated breath to talk about what you think are the best accessories of this past year. And I think, by the way, I think this goes without saying, we could probably add another, 20 or 30 different accessories to this list. So by all means, for all means, this is not the most comprehensive list in the world, but they only give us 22 minutes. So where do you start?
Exactly, yeah. I mean, it's so difficult, isn't it? I mean, the amount of boxes with smiles that have appeared at my house over the past year, I could probably fill the entire season with this feature. But yeah, I want to start with docking stations because, they're becoming more and more popular. You're seeing more and more of them show up for iPads, for computers. When you're at home, you want to connect more devices, but you just don't have the space on your computer. You don't have the ports on your computer, unless, of course, you've got one of those lovely new MacBook Pros, in which case you've got some space back and some ports back. But what I've got here is one I actually picked up, which in itself looks like nothing, really. This is the 12 South Stay Go. On here, you've got an HDMI port, you've got 3 USB 3s, you've got an Ethernet port and an extra USB-C connector, one that goes to the device that you're connecting to, so that all these ports become available to it, but also a second USB-C port to connect something else. One of my other picks that I'll get to in a minute. And you also have an SD card option in there and a micro SD card option. So lots of ports available just on this little device. But what's cool about this is not only can you stay at home with it and you could just plug it in and have it available to you whenever you want, you can also go on the move, and it actually has its own built-in little pull-out USB-C cable that's tiny. It's only a couple of inches long, and it slots inside the device. So, super cool. You actually get 2 cables with this. You get a longer cable, which can connect on the desktop, and then that short cable that you can use on the move.
You can definitely tell a company is thinking about design when they include that cable in it, because how many times have we lost cables or are looking for the right cable for the devices? That's a really, really cool innovation from them. What you got up next?
Yeah, well, I mentioned connecting devices to the dock, and one of those might be a hard drive. Well, I have here, courtesy of OWC, the Envoy Pro 1TB solid state drive. This thing is tiny. It's so small. I'm going to pull out the box. I actually keep it in the box because I'm terrified I lose it. It is so small. I mean, it's smaller than a pack of cards, and it's so robust. This particular hard drive connects via USB-C, so you get super fast speeds and you get that simple connection. But this is very strong. Apparently, you can drive a steamroller over this thing. I haven't, but if you do, it will survive. Well, I'm not sure if the hard drive will survive, but certainly the data will survive. That's the good news. So very small, very portable, great to chuck in the bag, take with you on the move. And again, because it's USB-C, you're getting the high speeds, and you could hook it up with your Stay-Go dock if you wanted.
I love OWC. They make some of the best accessories, especially for Mac computers. But because of USB-C, they've really evolved beyond that, which is really, really cool. And their hard drives, you can never beat those. They're super well priced, and they're super rugged, and they're really, really great on the go. Okay, what else? What else you got?
Okay, well, this one I know you were excited by when I told you about it, because you know, look, we have so many devices hanging around, don't we? And they all need charged all the time. You've got kids, you know what it's like. You're having to deal with constant devices needing charged. So what you need is a multiple adapter to be able to hook all these devices to, a one place to go. And Satechi have brought out this, the Dock 5. This is an incredible device. It actually, I mean, if you actually feel it, it feels like you're holding a toast rack. That is what it feels like, and it even looks like that as well, because you have these individual places, a bit like where you would place your toast, you place your devices in there. You can put up to 4 devices on this in the little toast rack, and you connect them via USB-C and USB-A connectors. But even on the front of it, there's more space. There's a big flat pad, which is a Qi charger, and you're able to just sit your iPhone on there, maybe even your AirPods Pro if you've got them, the new AirPods 3, you could sit right on there to charge up. And this all connects via one single cable at the back, one light on the front to tell you it's all up and running and charging.
Yeah, I'd say that's great, except when you've got a family of 4 people that all have multiple devices. Then, all you need is 2 of them and you run out of space, which is unfortunately what I deal with on a daily basis when I had a device like that. But they do make models that, go up to like 10 devices. I just don't know if they have enough charging power across the board. Okay, what else?
Well, the final one I'm going to bring you is a backpack. Now, this might sound a bit weird. Yeah, a bit like, what? A backpack? Really? But yeah, this is from Samsonite. And this is a really interesting one, because the one thing about me is I'm always wary of, especially being a blind guy, I use a white cane, I'm out on my own a lot of the time when I am traveling, so I'm always wary of people being able to dip into my bag, right? Security is key. Well, you can't cut this material, apparently. They say that this material is anti-cut proof, whatever that means.
Anti-cut proof, I like that. Yeah, that's good.
Anti-cut proof, yeah. But it does have all the the access panels basically inside. So when you wear it, you're actually covering up all the zips and everything inside. And when you open it up, you get lots of space inside, enough space, lovely pocket in there for a big laptop up to 15, 16 inch. Hey, the MacBook 16 could fit in here. Maybe even an iPad as well in the pocket in front of that. Lots of room to put in your cables. You've even got the ability inside to put in, as I've done, put in an AirTag inside it, inside a little pocket, so that I always know where the backpack is. And what's really cool about it is this little bit just at the top. It has this little bit that pops up and there's a little USB, and that little USB connects inside to what I've done is actually plugged in one of these little, I'll pull it out to show you, a little charging unit. So I've got a little charging unit here from Mophie that I've just popped inside, and I can plug it up, and that means when I'm on the move, I can just plug in my iPhone or my AirPods or whatever I need to charge up on the go, and it charges up nicely, and I can just pop them into the little zip pocket at the top, which is great for keys and holding your phone and your wallet. And it's even got some nice little side pockets as well, handy for keeping those masks.
Okay, I've got to throw one more thing into the mix here. I know I had my time, but you brought up the backpack, and backpacks are very unique to the individual, and I want to bring up this one over here. Ugh! This bright red backpack is by a company named DOUBLETAP. I love that name, by the way. Head over to dbjourney.com. The cool thing about this bag, again, it's a great waterproof material. It's got straps on both the left and the right side that let you strap in a tripod, let you strap in a water bottle, for example. It's got a great pouch on the top that I'm holding to the camera right now. This is a great all access for, anything you want to grab really quickly, which is really cool. The front of the bag has straps as well across it, so you can add things to it. Meant for like sleeping bags and things like that if people are carrying more on their back. The actual bag itself has two really comfortable straps that have that support that goes across the chest. So if you are carrying a heavy load, you can do that there. It's even got a waistband to it, which is really neat. Now, this bag itself is called the Backpack Pro. Okay, you can buy this on its own, which is really cool. It's got a lot of storage inside. I'm going to open it up here on my front camera, and you'll see lots of space inside, some zippered pouch areas on the cover, but inside you'll see here, I've got another bag inside, and the reason I do, this is called the CIA insert. You like the name of that? It fits perfectly in this bag. It's made for this bag, so we're going to unzip the CIA insert. And it's removable, so you don't have to use this. You can buy this separately, and you can use it if you want. This is one of those really cool gear kind of geek bags that have all these different Velcro dividers that you can move, and you can see in here now I've got a microphone on the bottom, I've got a couple camera lenses, I've got a camera, and lots of things that I can put in here. So it's a really cool backpack. Again, the company is called Douchebags, and you can find them at dbjourney.com. So thanks to them for sending that to us. And Stephen, we're out of time. So on behalf of Mitchell Whitfield and behalf of Stephen Scott, I am Marc Aflalo. Thank you for being with us. We'll catch you again on our next episode of Double Tap TV.
Hosted by Marc Aflalo and Stephen Scott. Editing Jordan Steeves and Marc Aflalo. Voiceover Anna Vicino. Integrated Described Video Specialist Ron Rickford. Coordinating Producer Jennifer Johnson. Director Production CARA Nye. Director Programming Brian Perdue. VP Content Development and Programming John Melville. President and CEO David Arrington. Copyright 2021 Accessible Media Inc.